Autumn/winter is well and truly here in the UK now. That's fall if you're a Yank. Arguably one of the best and simultaneously the worst time of the year. The best because, as cliche as it is, it's the perfect time to dress properly. Extra layers and accessories galore. This is where the real fashion MFs come out to play. However, you do get about 2 hours of daylight before being plummeted into darkness. You wake up, it's dark. You finish work, it's still dark. And repeat this every night for about 4 to 5 months. But hey, I guess that's the price we pay. Welcome back to another video. If you don't already know me, I'm Sam, your man for all things fashion. So make sure to hit like and subscribe for more fashion insight. And it also helps me just continue making these videos for you guys. And if you're feeling super kind and want to see more of this beautiful face, then my Instagram and TikTok are both on screen and in the description. So without further ado, let's get into what I think are the wardrobe essentials you need for this autumn winter as a guy. I'm gonna break them down into these 5 categories and then break them down into further detail. First is outerwear. Kicking it off with arguably one of the most important items to have in your wardrobe for this season. With how chilly it gets in the UK when it's peak winter, you just can't afford to not have some good jackets in your rotation. Disclaimer though, I'm a big hater of puffer coats, so don't expect to see any in this section. Don't get me wrong, I get their purpose and their function, but they just are not for me. They're too bulky and they just ruin some outfits in my opinion. So number 1 is the trench coat/overcoat. If there's one jacket that epitomizes the season for me, it has to be the trench coat. It's just such a classic. Can be worn both casually or dressed up when the occasion calls, whether that be with jeans, pleated trousers, or even some track pants. One of the reasons that I like it so much is that it's not too thick, meaning you can easily add layers underneath like a denim or workwear jacket, shirt and a blazer, t-shirt and a flannel. The list is endless. Me personally, I like to have a classic style and a wool one. For the classic style, I think beige, green and black are the best colors. And for the wool, gray, black and brown are my favorites. I think looking secondhand is the best option. So I look to buy from brands like London Fog, Burberry, Barracuda, or even just head down to your local thrift or vintage shop and I can guarantee you'll find a good one. But if you don't want to go through all the hassle of scanning through Vinted, Depop and your local shop, then APC do some good ones. They are on a slightly pricier side, but I've tried them on in store and they fit so nicely and they're so warm. Marks and Spencer's also have some good options and so do Olive Clothing. Number 2 is a leather jacket, an absolute staple for autumn. Perfect for layering with jumpers and shirts and add that elevated look to any outfit. Again, they pair so nicely with a range of outfits, and I think they look best in black, brown, or burgundy, just as simple colors. Obviously, if you wanted to buy real leather, they are going to be slightly more expensive, but that's what you get when you're buying the real thing. So again, I look to buy vintage from brands like Averex, Chevignon, Shop, and Diesel. But if you do want to buy brand new, I've got a couple options for you. Mutimer's leather bomber jacket at £228. It's 100% cowhide leather, got these nice pockets on the front with the ribbed hemband and cuffs, and you can just see how well it fits. Barney's also have some good options, whether you're looking for a trucker, racer jacket, and they even have this cracked leather one that I also recently picked up and it is gorgeous. Another option is the Zane leather jacket from 33mm, coming in a brown and a black colorway at £120. You can't complain. And they also have their cruise leather jacket at £130 with the nice fleece lining around the neck in this brown colorway, as well as a fleeced inner lining. And I have to give a special mention to this embroidered leather jacket from Benny Studios. I've never seen anything like it before. It's literally insane. It's got like a kind of bandana embroidered embossed print on it. If you are looking for that eye-catching and unique touch to your leather jacket, then this one's for you. Third is the rain jacket. This is for those ever so common days where it's absolutely belting it down and your only objective is to keep dry. But that don't mean you can't still look good while doing it. You can go for brands like Uniqlo, Blazed, or Summit, who all have a range of colors available, or even the classic Arc'teryx. If you wanted to splash a little bit more, they've got plenty of colors, plenty of silhouettes. This one from Colin Meredith has these really nice contrast panels, which just add nicely to a simple jacket. Or you can go for something a little more colorful, like these from NL25H. I actually found this brand on Instagram and I was blown away by their jackets. They got some insane paneling. The colors on the jackets are just gorgeous. It's really giving old school Oakley's vibes. Like, just look at some of the paneling on this orange jacket. Crazy. They've dropped a load of different colorways across the year. So if they ain't got some in stock right now, just follow them, get the notifications on so you can make sure you don't miss the drop. Or this one from Hint. Again, another brand I stumbled across via Instagram, and I really love this one. Something about that plaid pattern that just makes sense. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it feels like it's an ode to the OG laundry bag. If you know, you know. Putting that on a jacket is just moi. Honestly, while doing the research for this section, I just kept finding more and more rain jackets, like these plaid ones from 3AM Denim, or this ultralight London jacket with a built-in balaclava too. I want to give a special mention to this one from Obvoom. Actually incredible. Like, are you seeing this? I've not seen a rain jacket with this kind of detail. And of course, yes, it is quite expensive, but I guess that's what you pay for how unique it is and innovative it is. I don't know why, but it's giving me like Venom vibes, if you get me. I've also really been loving these graphic style rain jackets, like the classic Supreme X NARS jacket. Like, if I had unlimited money, this would be getting grabbed, can't lie. As well as this Cortez rain jacket, which I can't lie, if you can get your hands on, then fairs. With the infamous graphic of the artist Titch, taken by Simon Wheatley. If you know about this picture, you don't. Me personally, I probably wouldn't wear it because it's not really my style. I can appreciate it for what it is. That's it for the outerwear section, but I do want to give some honorable mentions as there's just too many jackets to cover. Like an MA1 style bomber jacket in black, or khaki, as well as the classic workwear jacket, which can be picked up secondhand by looking for vintage Dickies and Carhartt. If you are wanting brand new, then both Glory Days and Experiment 5 have got you covered. The second section is knitwear, another item which is just so synonymous to the autumn and winter, and it's the perfect time to indulge in some good knitwear. There's just so many options and so many variations. You're literally spoiled for choice. Number one is a rib knit sweater, the perfect option to add some texture to your simple knit sweater, and I just love how they look both layered and on their own. Not only that, there's a range of colours to choose from and which look great. The usuals, brown, beige, grey, khaki, black, but even some more out there like orange, red and purple. My top picks go to Running's Fisherman Knit and About Blank, who both offer a range of colours. If you are operating on a tighter budget, then cotton on might be a good option for you at around £40. If you can, I'd opt for better quality and more responsibly made items, as they'll last a hell of a lot longer. And if you buy right, buy it once. Massimo Dutti also has some good options, and if you're willing to try it, Studio Nicholson's women's section has a great range of options available. Next is a wool sweater. Again, another simple way to add texture to your normal sweater. One thing I'll make very clear though, is not cheaping out on your wool is key. The last thing you want is to be mad uncomfortable and scratchy, and then 4 or 5 months down the line, it's broken, it's ripped, it's falling apart, or it's lost its shape. It's just not what you need. The great thing about these wool sweaters is that they come in these basic form, like these from Arket, sitting at a reasonable price of around £70, but they've got a load of colours available. Cream, grey, beige, brown, the lot. 7th Store also recently dropped some new knitwear in this brown, grey and darker grey colorway, and you know the fit on them is going to be 10-10. If you are wanting to switch it up, you can opt for a zip-through version, giving you the option to wear it open or zipped all the way up with that nice high neck look I've been loving recently. Like these from Outerwear. About Blank also stocked some good ones, can never go wrong with costs, and as I previously mentioned, Studio Nicholson. A little more on the pricier side. If you look at the way they fit, the high neck, the quality, it is justified if you've got that money to spend. Third and finally is the cardigan, and we all need a good cardigan. Such a perfect piece for layering throughout the season, and finding one that fits you nicely is key. Me personally, I prefer the more simple and clean ones, like these from Uniqlo, COS, Mango, and John Lewis, and I actually prefer the women's versions, as I feel like the neckline of them is just way nicer than that V kind of shape on the men's ones you usually get. But for those of you that want to go slightly more out there and be bold, these from Universal Works, OP Cloth and Running will have you covered. And a special mention to this one from Spencer Baddy, a brand I've been wanting to indulge in for a long while. I love the button details all over the jumper, not only adding character, but also allowing you to button the cardigan in any way you please, meaning you've got endless options and endless silhouettes to work with. Section number 3 is footwear. Really and truly, out the autumn winter, you want something that's going to hold up and stand the test of time throughout the winter while still looking good. So don't worry, I'm going to give you some options. Number 1 is a loafer or a derby. A loafer or a derby is a must to elevate your autumn or winter outfits, and they're often made from leather, meaning they won't get ruined by the weather. I'm not a rap. I would look towards either black, brown, or burgundy colorways, as I just think they look best with the typical fall colors. PSA though, they take an absolute minute to break in, but trust me, once it's done, it's worth it. But you just have to endure that pain for maybe a few more. Both pairs are so versatile, and they're able to be worn in a variety of manners: casual, smart casual, and fully formal of course. If you are going to go for a loafer, I'd opt for a penny or a tassel loafer from brands like GH Bass, Dr. Martens, or Outerwear. But if you do want a more unique and eye-catching pair, then Duke and Dexter have got loads to choose from, with their signature artwork detailed on the toe box and loads of pairs to choose from. If you wanted to go for a traditional derby, Dr. Martens, Outerwear, and Squirrel of Scoop are classics, and you can't go wrong. If you are still new to formal footwear and you ain't quite ready to jump into the loafers and derbies, then maybe try a mock toe derby. Somewhat a combo of a loafer and a derby, the mock toe is the perfect in between. A style I still see heavily slept on, but I think they're a great option to jump into entry-level formal footwear, remaining simple enough to be worn with casual fits, but still having the option to dress up and go a bit more formal when the occasion calls. Clement Pedro do the cheapest options with a load of colours available. Next is Collegium, slightly more expensive, and the originals and most expensive are the Paraboot Michaels. There you go, there's 3 options for 3 different price points. Number 2 is boots. For me, boots are the epitome of autumn winter footwear. And with autumn well and truly here, a good leather boot goes a long way, protecting your feet from the weather while still looking stylish. What more could you ask for? Not only that, but they come in a variety of forms, meaning there's something for everybody. If you want it to be more dressy, then I'd go for a Chelsea boot. They work so well with some straighter cut jeans or pleated trousers, and I'd either go for a black or a brown pair, as I just think they look best with the usual full outfits. My recommendations go to Collegium, Olive Clothing, and Joseph T, all of which are very similar to the R Legacy pair, but really and truly, do we all have like 5 to 6 bills to be spending on some shoes? But I know for some people a Chelsea boot is going to be a little bit too formal, so my answer is hiking boots. I like to think they're somewhat between dressy and casual, because they're not like super casual, but I'd say they're more suited to day-to-day wear. I have a pair from Score of Scoop, which I paid about £60 for. I was a bit skeptical with the price point, but I've had them for over a year now and they've held up really well. But if you're wanting a guaranteed bang for your buck, then DMA and Running would be my recommendations. Third and finally is trainers. I'm not a big fan of trainers in the autumn, as I just feel they get ruined so easily. But if you are a trainers guy, then I'd opt for darker colors, just so if they do get dirty, it's not as noticeable. Maybe some leather or Gore-Tex Wallabies, Solomon XT4, XT6s, and get them in simple colors, or you can go for some more out there colorways. I love my Solomons when the occasion calls. It's just so nice to be able to step outside and know you're going to be comfy and your feet are going to be dry. One thing I must say though, I've been loving the low profile sneaker silhouettes recently. I never thought I'd ever say that because I'm always used to be a chunky, more like structured kind of shoe guy, but in recent months, they're talking to me. It's just something about how they look with some nice jeans or pleated trousers, like a pair of German army trainers, which you can pick up from Adidas, even eBay, some old school ones. And if you've got big bread, then just go for some Mason Margielas. I've got the Adidas ones and they're completely fine. If you do want that more vintage look, I'd look at Collegium, somewhat similar to the Onitsuka Tigers, Asics, and Golas. They've got loads of colors to choose from, so realistically, you're sport for choice, whichever one you prefer. Axel Arigato's slow trainer as well really surprised me, because in my head, Axel Arigato is like big, chunky shoes, but they really hit the nail on the head with these ones. They've got a load of colors in these nice suede materials, and then they've also got some options that have got slightly more leather look to them. I do think a lot of brands saw the success of those Miu Miu New Balances and ran with it, but I'm not mad at it because I do really like that silhouette trainer. If you do want that vintage style with a bit more of a unique touch, then 6 Crayons Tabby sneaker might be the answer for you. Coming in at $150, I don't think it's too bad, to be honest. You've got this nice matte leather, obviously the Tabby silhouette, as well as the collapsible / ruched kind of back into the shoe. I think I'd give them a try. I mean, I love me a Tabby, so a vintage sports looking shoe that also has the Tabby element. Call it my name. Call it my name. And one thing that keeps popping up on my Pinterest is these vintage Prada pairs, and maybe it's a sign. I do really like them though. They are on the more expensive side, especially for vintage, and I have a bit of a bad relationship with vintage Prada shoes, because I bought some vintage Prada cups like 2 years ago for my birthday, and I was like, cool, I'm gonna save them for my birthday and wear them. Wore them, and on the first wear, within about 30 minutes, the sole just crumbled. So take that with a pinch of salt. Me personally, because of my bad experience, I'd steer clear of vintage Prada, but it can work. It can work. Don't shoot the messenger. The fourth section is trousers. First is jeans. Whether it be baggy, bootcut, or flared, a good pair of jeans is a must for the season. Versatile enough for loafers, boots, or trainers, you just can't go wrong. Darker wash denim, black, grey, and especially that raw / selvage denim seem to be the most popular for the season, and I get it. Not only do they look great, but when the weather takes a turn for the worse and your heel is dragging like crazy, all that dirt and nonsense is barely noticeable, so it's a win-win. But I am still a fan of the lighter wash pairs, as you just can't go wrong, and they still pair nicely with a range of outfits. My personal favourites are the women's COS volume jeans, not too baggy or balloon styled, but still wide enough to give that nice silhouette and sit nicely on your shoes of choice. They also have loads of colours and washes available, so you've got options. All at £95, I don't think it's a terrible deal, to be honest. Next is Damaged Denim Service. This low-key brand based out of Italy is killing it right now. I love the contrast stitching and the variety of details on their jeans, offering both bootcut and baggy versions of their raw denim, retailing at roughly €150, which means they got you covered whichever style you prefer. Not only that, but they also take commissions, meaning you can get the perfect pair of jeans made to measure for you. Next is 7th Stores, the absolute kings of the perfect silhouette, and their denim are no exception. The fit of these is just what makes them. They have that perfect baggy shape which still sits nicely on the shoes, and the pleated detail across the front just brings them all together. If you are looking for some more affordable options, then secondhand might be a good shout. Seeking out some vintage Levi's, 501s, 510s, 507s, as well as Dickies or pairs from Carhartt, these will always be your best bet. You just can't go wrong. Number 2 is pleated trousers. These are great for when you want to elevate your look, complementing both boots and loafers perfectly. And they're even comfortable enough to wear day to day. And in my wardrobe, they're an absolute staple throughout the season, whether that be in winter, autumn, summer, or spring. I love me a pleated trouser. What can I say? Top of my list for picks are the COS women's wide leg trousers at £115. I've been through a load of pleated trousers in my time, and these come out as #1 every single time. They're 100% wool, meaning they flow incredibly, they fit perfectly, and honestly, they're so comfortable. And you might be thinking £115 might seem steep for the fit and the quality. I don't think there's much of an argument. I literally love mine. There's no trouser that fits me more perfect. Or you can go for California Arts. These are way more expensive than the COS ones, at about £225 to £245, which is kind of crazy, I can't lie. But I'm not a fan of putting you guys onto cheap, shitty polyester items, so my bad. My bad. California Arts offers an ultra pleated, wide leg, and tailor fitted trouser in a variety of colorways, giving you the option to choose what suits you best. With each pair being made out of 100% wool again, meaning they fit and flow perfectly, and they're actually going to last you a long time. If you are looking for the most affordable option, then the Uniqlo pleated trousers at £45 are your best bet. They come in 5 different colorways, meaning variety is not an issue. They are a slightly more straighter fit, but I don't think they're too skinny. And if you like that look, then all the better. And the third kind of trouser is track pants. An absolute must for those days when you want to be comfy and cozy. And in my opinion, I think their versatility is kind of underrated. They obviously look great with casual fits, like in a full tracksuit or something really chill. But I also love how they look in more unconventional fits, especially when it's done right. When it's paired with like a denim jacket, trench maybe, just stuff that you wouldn't conventionally think goes with a pair of track pants. Obviously you've got your cuffed and your straight leg pairs, so whichever side of the fence you fall on, I got you. Garms might be one of the best when it comes to track pants, offering a cuffed and straight leg silhouette at around £70, and they come in a range of colours. Now they do sell out pretty quickly, but they also restock fairly often as well, so just make sure you stay tapped in and grab them when you get the chance. And then if you are looking for some really simple pairs, then WATC Studios and Velour Garments. I think they're both like wholesale brands that sell individually, but because of this, they are at a reasonable price, with WATC coming in at around £36 to £50 and Velour Garments between £50 and £60, which I don't think is too bad, to be honest. The fifth and final category is accessories. Now that you're covered from top to bottom, every outfit needs some good accessories to put the finishing touches, and autumn winter is the perfect time to do so. Starting off with gloves, an accessory I see a lot of people underutilized, but gloves can really add that nice elevated touch to some simple outfits. One of my favorite things I love seeing is a simple outfit with a pair of leather gloves in colors like burgundy, black, orange and green. It just adds something to the fit. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it just looks cold. I also really like this woven style of leather glove, kind of like that Bottega kind of material. So if you wanted to add some texture to your leather gloves, then boom, some woven leather gloves, there you go. Driving gloves are also another silhouette you can try, especially the ones with the knitted element added to them. Like the two-tone colorway with the knit and the leather just looks so sick. Something ALD used really well, and it pushed me to look more into them. The good thing is, leather gloves aren't that expensive to come by. So I'd look at Marks & Spencer's, John Lewis, Aspinall of London, and Peter Christian. Next is hats / headwear. Everybody needs some good headwear for the season. Simple, but effective. It can easily be the cherry on top of your outfits, both metaphorically and kind of literally, I guess. Starting off with beanies or scullies, the absolute goat when it comes to functionality for those freezing cold days. But not all beanies are made equal. It's so easy to just buy some cheap tack, which literally loses its shape and elasticity after like 5-6 wears. Like, why is my beanie sitting on my eyebrows now? Like, all the elasticity is just gone. Just disappeared. Doesn't even fit your head anymore. It's just loose. If you're wanting something simple, then my top recommendation, the skull beanie from Sweats for me is the perfect way a beanie should fit. They also have loads of colors as well, which is a bonus. So you can literally buy one for every kind of outfit or every kind of possibility you can think of. Of course, you've got your standard Stussies and Arc'teryx, which have a range of colors and silhouettes and patterns and designs and whatever. These are your bog standards, man. You can't go wrong with these guys. If you do want some more interesting options, then Abella Studios has some sick options, like their Pan-African flag and bandana print beanies and scullies. Like, where else are you finding these, bro? Like, these are cold. The Pan-African one is so nice. And it sort of leads on to my next point of striped beanies. Like, there's something about a good striped beanie with some nice color, a simple fit. Let's say you're wearing like a big wool coat, some simple trousers, and a nice pair of boots. And then you just slap on like this nice striped, colorful beanie, and it's just good. It is just so good. Like, they just add a great touch, and it's a proper color and style with like literally little, if any, effort. They're so easy to find on Vinted or Depop, and the good thing about buying them secondhand, more than likely you're gonna find a beanie that nobody else has or you don't see anywhere else, and what more could you want? Obviously, make sure you wash that like a good couple times before you put it on your head, because you don't know what these other people be doing, man. You don't know when the last time it was that they washed that beanie. So, but if you really want to stand out, then maybe you should try Gallery on Precy's ruffle beanie, which looks like Yoda got skinned and put on your head top. Like, it's a sick beanie. They've got loads of colors, and not only that, it's just a sick brand overall. Like, the ruffles is like their signature texture, pattern, whatever you'd call it. They do it in skirts, bags, tops, headwear. It is more women's focused, but guys, man, you can get down. There's some good stuff in there for you guys, don't worry. I know some of you aren't on the beanie vibe because you think it makes you look funny or you look like a thumb, so don't worry. I got some caps for you as well, because I'm very impartial to a cap. I do love a good cap. I have such an affinity for the more like pillbox square kind of shaped caps. I think they just offer such a nice and unique shape compared to like your typical standard cap. This wash khaki one from Studio Sab has caught my eye recently. I love the wash and the denim style tab on the side of it. Six Crayon has also been gaining a lot of notoriety recently for their hats, playing with a load of textures, patterns, colors, you name it, they got it pretty much. If you do prefer the simple style, something a little more casual, the No Guard standard cap might be the one for you. And I know some of you are shouting at me saying, well, I want normal caps. Okay, I'm a people's person. I got you again, don't worry. Sompe has some great wax style caps with their signature logo embroidered on it. I think it's a texture you just don't see in caps at all, which I really like. Always a small brand out of Northeast England, dropping gems when it comes to hats. This Realtree one has seriously been calling my name. They've got loads of options with writing, their signature logo. Like, you can't complain, man, can't complain. And finally, Local Space. They always keep their standard logo caps on deck and in stock, so if that's your style, boom, you're sorted. But they also stay dropping some limited edition / collaboration hats throughout the year, like their Chinese New Year, their Saint collab, and more recently, their Southern Comfort collab, so make sure to tap in with them. Damn, this section is long, but finally for this section is hoods. A piece of headwear I see a lot more prevalent in women's wear, but come on guys, maybe we should take a page out of the girlies book because they're killing it. If you want to wear a jacket but you don't have a hood, problem solved. You just slap on the knitted one and you're good to go. I like the knitted ones, which you can pick up from basically any high street retailer, COS, Weekday, all them kind of brands, at around 20 to 30 pounds, which I don't think is too bad. And it is a more experimental piece, so you might wear it, you might not. And I think maybe it's good to experiment with it. If you do like it, buy a better, more quality iteration. I also want to mention these from Simple Project. This suede one, which I can just imagine will keep you so nice and warm. And it's like the perfect color for the season, so. Or these checkered ones, which are slightly thinner, so they ain't gonna keep you as warm, but they double down as a necktie. And I think they'll kind of go hard in that like babushka, ASAP Rocky kind of stuff. You slap it on, slap a cap over it or something if that's your steez. And go hard, man. Third for the accessory section is bags. It's nearly 2026. As a man, you need to give that backpack and tote bag a rest. It's time to level up. You need to start utilizing all kinds of bags. Trust me, there ain't nothing feminine about wanting to carry your stuff and still look stylish while doing it. So take full advantage, man. Lean in, jump in the deep end. A good shopper, duffel, or slouch bag are my favorite options. And if we're talking pattern and materials, then the fur and hide bags are so beautiful, man. As well as a croc or snake print. It's just so good. Like, I picked up a brown one recently, but it just looks so good. Like, once you lean into bags, you'll never go back. I think as well, a good bag just makes your outfit look that more intentional. And you get bonus points if you carry it like this. I don't make the rules. You can find some good ones at Bolairs, Glory Days when they stock, COS, Parallel Studios do some sick bags too, and there's hundreds upon hundreds of fur, hide, print, leather bags on Etsy and eBay, so have some fun, man, go searching. So those are my 5 categories for wardrobe essentials for this autumn winter as a guy. Now obviously, you don't need to buy everything on this list and don't feel pressure to. The last thing I want is for people to think their wardrobes aren't enough and that they need a whole bunch of new clothes. It's just not what fashion's about for me. Seek out a couple items from this video that you really like and enjoy, and you know you'll get a lot of wear from. At least that way you're somewhat justifying the price if it's more on the expensive side, and you know that it's going to fit into your wardrobe, your personality, and your style. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed the new style of video. Make sure to like and subscribe, as it allows me to continue making these videos like this, and it lets me know that you guys enjoy this style of video, because I enjoy making them too. Drop a comment of what you're looking forward to wearing in this fall winter, or any other videos you'd like to see in the future. All my other platforms in the description, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.